Okay, you want to hear something crazy? And I think about this a lot. This is one of those things that I wish like young people knew about and understood because I feel like it would free them up a lot to not maybe kind of buy into all these narratives that are really kind of being like speedballed into their faces. So, did you know that they track things like marital status by age group and sex, like at a very local level and across time? Um, Look for a place like Davidson County, folks between the ages of 20 to 34, depending on their sex, roughly two-thirds to 70% of them have never been married. So a lot of single people, which is great. If you want to think about that in terms of the population, I think that's like 200,000 people, roughly speaking, in that age group. So 52%, I want to say, are female, 48% are male. And then if you look at households, just take it a step further and what those metrics look like. I mean, in general, and I've said this before, populations and households aren't a one for one, but they do trend, broadly speaking. In general, a place like Davidson County, we have a higher concentration of renters to homeowners just across all ages. But then if you just look at like the renters, um, we have a higher concentration of renters that are under the age of 35 and then that are smaller in size. So like just under half of all renters are under the age of 35, and then, you know, just under half of all renters are just one person households. So it's a lot of younger people living alone. Um, so what I'm saying is, in this cost of living issue that we're really dealing with, not only in Nashville, but really all over the place, is, maybe it makes sense to meet your neighbor and reach out because, look, who knows? At a minimum, you make a new friend, and who could be something more than that. I don't know. But better yet, you split that rent, and then what does that do? I mean, it frees up this, shortage of homes that we have, which mathematically never existed. You just can't say that if you do. I mean, it's just wrong. But yeah, I really just wish younger folks understood that in general because um, it would really free them up to get away from, you know, what oftentimes is just narrative or like social media sort of perpetuating certain things. And people oftentimes just posting highlights of their life on there, and how productive is that for somebody's sort of mental health? Or, maybe your Aunt Cindy saying, like, hey, you should be married by now because I was. I mean, give me a fucking break. I mean, she doesn't know her ass from her elbow. She's just going on a hunch. That's not going to get you anywhere. So, yeah, some version of this exists all over the country, and we can look at that information too if it would be helpful to some folks. But again, I just want people to know about this sort of thing because it's really going to add a lot of perspective in terms of maybe where somebody is in life. And the chances are you're probably right there in the average, and that's totally fine. So, yeah, that's cool. Fucking A.